if anything, maybe I'll start by explaining how I got in this pen that I'm currently in. We'll do the location narrative, where it's like I'm slowly making my way to you, because it's like I started out in space and you're in the studio, and I'm like slowly but surely get to you.
I'm not used to this setup, so I apologize. Okay, all set though. Ready to go whenever you. Oh, we're recording. Hi guys.
Yeah, take it
Welcome
from
to
here.
the podcast. It's unplugged. You didn't think we'd made it, but we're here. Hello, how's
That's
it
right.
going?
They said we'd never make it, but here we are. That's
We
right.
are your host. I am the Darren G.
And I am the Jovan.
Yo, we're the thes up in here.
We
So
are
what's
the
going
the.
on right now? Okay, so first things
Yep.
first is guys, I apologize again. I don't know. I'm getting used to this camera situation in the studio. It's a little different. I'm getting used to it, so bear with me here. Joe, can we
Yes.
chat about your location?
Yeah. Okay. So listen. I've been through quite the ordeal. So I started in deep space. I was having a good time, right? I had a safari hat, and then I got arrested on my way back to Earth. Apparently, I have to pay for a toll. I didn't even see it. I just went right through it. I mean, you're gonna
They
blame a
always
guy
get you.
for.
That's how they
They
get
always
you,
find a
bro.
way to get you. Yeah, and especially in Russia, it's just an excuse to capture you. Anyway, I was able to get out, and I stole this bomb green sweater. As I fell down to Earth, I landed nice and safe at the top of the Himalayas, at the top of Mount Everest, and I've now made my way down the mountainside
Making my way
and
down.
down the mountain. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm still fugitive. I'm a fugitive of all of Earth. So I'm not
Oh,
just FBI's. Yeah, because if you do something in space, all of Earth comes for you. There's no nations that come
okay.
for you. So I still want to
Okay.
broadcast because I love having a good time, but I am currently a fugitive who's hiding out in a pen.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do, right? Animals can't speak. Animals can't rat you out.
You say that, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it all
Just
makes
going with the
sense.
flow. Like, all right,
Just go with it. It's a space
bro.
philosophy. You just
I'm
gotta
into
go with the
it.
flow. But yeah, okay, all right. So here I am. There you are. Let's jump into
So at least you're
something.
back on Earth, right?
I'm back on Earth. I'm having a good
Say that.
time. Yeah, yeah, and we can just kind of take things one bit at a time. Who knows where I'll be next episode? We'll see. But
Who
yeah,
knows?
so
We'll see.
we'll see what
Second,
happens,
okay, so
right?
second, you're in a barn, and that probably relates to maybe why you just had cheese. How was the cheese?
Oh my
Do you
gosh.
want to elaborate on
Yeah,
that too? Because I
let's
want to
let's
know.
yeah, let's fill the audience in. I just had a lot of cheese and it was delish. Mwah.
Okay,
Super
yep,
bougie. It's the bougiest thing I think I do. And I'm very
cheese is good.
fortunate to be living in a world where cheese exists. Yeah. Um,
Mm,
not to knock the vegans though, because every single diet type, I think, can have cheese except for vegans. But now there are alternative cheeses that are so realistic, like so cheese-like,
okay,
that
okay,
there's
yeah,
no distinction. It's insane. It's insane the technology that we've come up with in vegan
that's fair
technology.
enough.
So
Yeah, because I feel
everybody can
like
enjoy cheese.
cheese is like a texture that isn't really hard to obtain. Don't come at me. No one come at me for that, okay? Because it's
Well, it took
it's
them a
not like
while.
it's a steak.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's
It,
where the magic comes in. Like these
yeah.
like Beyond Meat burgers I've eaten, I'd be like,
Ugh.
whoa, these
Yeah.
things be tasting like ground beef, okay?
Yeah, it's the first thing ever, I think. The first ever alternative that actually tastes like the thing it's supposed to emulate. So, yeah, I'm all
Yep.
about it.
The only one. Honestly, I just
Yeah.
feel like other ones, they don't do it for me. The only one I've ever tasted, honestly, that tastes like meat is the Beyond Meat.
Yeah, straight up. So, I mean,
The
hey,
other ones
Beyond Meat,
don't.
if you want to sponsor us, just let us know, You can
Yeah, like,
throw us a
whoa.
line on Instagram or on
This
YouTube,
isn't sponsored. This isn't sponsored, but we'd love to be sponsored.
But
Just
we'd love
kidding.
to be sponsored. Get it. That's yeah. But anyway, okay. So let
So there's that. Okay, so you're in a barn. You had
yes.
cheese. The cheese was good.
It was very
We were
good.
basically the gist of this is invest in some good cheese. If you can't get it from a barn, hit up your local grocery store.
Yeah, buy local,
Right?
especially now in the
If you don't have a
turbulent
farm,
times
like
we live in.
yeah,
Yeah, just
exactly,
find it. Find it. It's out there. Yeah.
exactly. I hear
Um,
you.
but yeah, so listen. I'm a man on the run, man on the run, and I am paranoid because that's what fugitives are, right? They don't know the next
They
turn they
sure
take if
are.
it'll be them getting captured. And so every so often I think I hear noises and I'm like, oh, is someone there? And I turn the corner and no one's there. So you tell me if this is something that
Okay.
you've experienced before, but something commonly referred to as auditory hallucinations Not the same as being schizophrenic where you're full out seeing faces that aren't there, but
Or ghosts.
for the longest time, I'll just like hear a noise, like a conversation in another room, like as I'm going
Okay.
towards that room, and I'll open the door and there'll just be nothing there.
Okay, but question.
Yeah.
Were you experiencing this at your back home, at your parents'
Before I
house?
was a fugitive. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
You were experiencing this.
Yeah, I experienced it at friends' places. I experienced it at my place. I mean,
Okay.
unless
And that's
literally
just all
everything is
that's all
haunted.
you then. That's all you then.
Yeah.
Because I was
Well,
gonna say
yeah,
you just moved to this place, so the place is probably haunted.
most likely haunted. Yeah. But I also, yeah, just experienced it everywhere. So I'm guessing, aside from spectral entities that are trying to communicate, I never specifically ever hear like words. I just hear the murmurings of like a conversation or a noise, and then I open the door and nothing's there. And I'm like,
Okay.
I guess my brain was like expecting me to walk into a conversation, and so it just started making it up for me. And then I opened the door, and no one's there. I don't
Hmm.
know, but
Quite interesting.
so
Quite
let
interesting.
we can always just chalk this up to me actually being insane. But I think it has something to do with the idea of the fact that everybody has inner monologues, or a good number of people. There are people that don't have it, and it's like a condition, but most people have internal monologues. It's how our
Okay.
thoughts process, right? You'll think something to yourself, like, should I get this? Should I not get this? You could even say that out loud, but it's like that idea is persistent, right? Is that you're hearing a voice that's in your head all the time. So could
Yes.
this just be an extension of my mind doing that? I don't know.
That voice sometimes is the worst. I hate it. What can you do?
Sometimes it can be really bad. Yeah, yeah.
I just
Sometimes
realized
it's
this coffee
bad.
has so much cream. I'm like, how does it have so much? Do you
What
know
do you
why?
got? Well, what do you that look like
Because I
eggnog?
just
What do you got?
opened it. I know. I'm looking at it. I'm like, why does it look so creamy? But it's because I just opened it. So when you just
Okay.
open it, it's so hard to get just the right amount. So I realize it's like
Right, right.
it's too much cream. Like I'm tasting it. I'm like, this is so creamy. It's
Well, what are you
gross.
having? What are you having? Fill us in.
It's just a coffee.
Oh,
It's just
okay. Oh,
regular
classic.
coffee with
Nice, nice.
2 sugars and cream. But the cream is like I just
A
popped the thing
lot
off,
of
so it's
cream.
like when you
Yeah,
pour, it's so high up from the cup. What I should have did is probably
I
raised
got
the
you.
cup a
Yeah,
little. But it's
yeah,
still it's you have to like give it like a good for it to come
yeah.
out without it all draining down the whole carton. If you know what I
I got
mean.
you. No, I know exactly what
The
you're talking
struggle's
about.
real. The struggle's real, and that's why that's so creamy. Because I would usually it's quite I don't know.
You're
Usually it's
not
quite
as
like
hard on it.
yeah.
It's not a half and half of cream and coffee.
Like normally I do 1 cream, 2 sugars if I go to
Right,
like the store.
right, right.
But I've been adding extra cream
Yeah.
because I'm trying to gain some weight. But at the same
Ooh,
time, I'm not
yeah.
that much cream. Not that much.
Okay, okay. Well, hey, maybe you
You're just
start.
like,
I don't know. No, hey, it's okay, right? Everybody's got their own way of doing it. So what's up with that? What do you have like a goal in mind? What weight class are you trying to get up to?
do I have one mine? Yeah, I'm like, I was like super underweight because I was in like really bad depression. So
Right.
I'm just, it's more of just eating consistently, which like now it's fine for me. Like but it's just more of I want to put on weight.
Yeah.
Just personally, I don't know why. I wanted to be a little bit bigger, which I
Yeah.
have. I've gained the weight, but I
Yeah.
want to gain more,
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
Like once you get a little bit, you want more.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the perfect climate, you know? Everybody wants the perfect climate. They don't want to move to California because it's too hot. They don't want to go to Canada because it's too cold. You want that
Mm-hmm.
perfect thing, right?
Not that
Because
like
it's like
right in between.
yeah, and it's like so you want to gain weight, and then someone like me might want to lose weight. I mean, in one particular area, right, the belly. But it's like it's
See, I need to like
yeah.
gain
No
weight.
matter what position someone's in, they're always trying to reach
There's always that like
that
something.
perfect temperature, that perfect weight class. Yeah, where they're like,
Exactly.
that's exactly what I want. I don't have like a number on mine or anything either, but yeah, just generally, I'd like to
Like
like I'm 6'2", so I'm a big guy, but I also know I can maybe cut off 10 pounds or something. But whatever.
but see, like
You know,
this is that's the
I don't
part for
need
me
to.
that's hard. Where it's like I've never like I don't know. I've always been like super slim, always. So it's not
You have
like
a
in
high
my genetics.
metabolism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just not
yeah.
in my genetics for me to just like be like stuffing my body to gain the weight.
Yeah, because your
But
body
it's
tells you to stop, you'll just like be full right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm just like I just like I make slow little changes here and there of like how to add the extra calories on slowly.
right.
But that actually leads to um, how I got sick. So
Yeah, please tell it. Wait.
so
Okay, so for
basically,
the audience
bro,
doesn't know anything. So
bro,
fill us in from the
it's
top.
freaking brutal. Like I
Yeah,
don't know. I literally was out for like a week.
right.
Maybe well not a week, maybe like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
But just today, like today, I'm starting to feel like I went to the grocery store, restocked up some things. Like all I had today was just soup and crackers and like this coffee, like
Oh wow. Yeah.
only all day.
Mhm.
So I was like, I'm going on this podcast. Like I think I can maybe like stomach a coffee. And like right now, it actually feels good. I feel good. Like I don't.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah. So basically, I don't know what it is, but like with this quarantine, it's
Mhm.
been really rough on me. Like it's been rough in certain ways at certain times. So like I'm all for like doing the groceries and all that jazz.
Mhm.
And then I'll come home and I'll cook all that. And then I'll just get exhausted after like the fourth, fifth day.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is exhausting. And I don't have a dishwasher. So I wash all of my stuff by hand and all this stuff. And I just don't
Same.
want to like,
Yeah.
I just, it's really sucky because it's like, I try to like think of it as like I'm super fortunate because like, it's
You're
just
not
like,
homeless. I
I'm not
mean, there's so
homeless. Like
many other things. Yeah.
I have a like stove, a gas stove, and like
Mhm.
there's water coming out of the tap. And like, I'm like, wow, like people don't even have this. And I guess I contemplate that a lot, and then like I stress out, and then I overthink, and then I'm just like, holy crap. And then I sometimes I just won't do anything because I'm just like overthinking things so much.
Right. Yeah.
So it comes to the point where like sometimes I will just eat takeout for like with days and days and days and days on straight. So like it was
Yeah.
at that point. So I literally and normally I try to have it once a day. Like I'll just try to have takeout once a day, and
Okay. Yeah.
I'll try to like push it where it's mainly only dinner or like a snack like in the morning or something. Remember, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I'm trying to get these extra calories somehow. So
Yeah. Yeah.
in the
Exactly.
morning, I in the morning for me to make breakfast every morning is like, okay, this is a lot of work going in 2 weeks, going into two
Yeah. It's
weeks. But
manual.
it's like I don't get how this is the part I don't get. I don't get how people. I guess it's because they're like meal prepping it, but I can't eat the same thing over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's my issue. Like I can't
Yeah.
sit there and eat the same food over and over again. Like I've tried it and like it goes to waste because I would just rather eat something else the day of. So that's why I like to have a lot of food and then be able to okay, today I want to make this. And like
Yeah.
essentially I'll have like a list of like recipes that I have and I'll cook.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, I'm getting takeout. I don't care. I'm getting takeout. I'm getting takeout. I'm just so sick of this. And then I get takeout and all's good, all's well. And it's honestly like takeout food is not that good. It's horrible. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
everything I get, like I've gotten everything from everywhere and I'm just like I'm never really satisfied. Like
Yeah.
rarely.
Yeah.
And fine, whatever. Besides the point, I end up one day of like last week, I get two takeouts in a row. So like I get
Okay.
lunch, I don't do takeout breakfast, but I do lunch and then I do dinner.
Yeah.
Lunch I had Subway and then dinner I had
Okay.
Hardee's. Now,
Wait, which one gave it to you? You're gonna get there, but oh my gosh.
I'm telling I 100% never ever have Subway ever.
Okay.
Ever.
Yeah.
And the Harvey's was bomb. I had like I had a
Okay.
hot dog combo. I had a hot dog combo because like I just started
Right.
eating pork again and meat, so I'm just like, yes, I'm down. This I got a chicken wrap like from Subway, and that's for sure what made me sick, like for
Oh my
sure.
gosh.
And
Yeah. Chicken will do it to you.
it's just like the thought of it, I'm just like, kill me right now, like
Ugh.
kill me. I just
It was
like
pervasive. Like,
I don't
ugh.
know how to describe it. Certain things for me, just like I don't know what it is. Like certain things just do not work well with my body, and I knew
Right.
instantly that something was wrong in the process of like when I was ordering it. So it's like
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'm going in basically. I want a salad. I want a chicken Caesar salad. That's what I
Yeah.
want, but they don't have that. They
Mm.
only have like weird chicken like teriyaki salads. At
Leftover
least
chicken.
and
Yeah.
like I don't want to eat a salad from there anyways. It's gross. Like it's just like
Hmm.
if I'm gonna go to that, I'm gonna go to a grocery store and get like all this stuff. Okay. Anyway, besides the
Yeah.
point. So I'm like, well, they're Subway, so they have wraps. So let me get a chicken Caesar wrap.
Yeah.
Thinking that it'll have like croutons and like bacon and like Parmesan cheese, like what a normal Caesar
The
would have.
essentials. Yeah.
Anyways, besides the point. It ain't got none of that in it. It's just hot chicken. And then she asked me, "What do you want in it?" And I go, "Well, what? It doesn't
What do you
bacon and
think?
like
Yeah.
bacon, Caesar dressing, croutons, And
Yeah,
like
you
y'all
got to
got some
spell it out
parm
for
and
them.
like maybe some like hot sauce or something. They
Yeah.
don't got none of that. So I was like, okay, lettuce, spinach, red onions, some salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Because like, what else am I gonna put? I'm not gonna put freaking. I don't know. I'm not gonna put
Weird alternatives. Yeah.
cucumbers, tomatoes. I'm just like, that sounds
Doesn't make
soggy as
sense. That's
fuck.
not.
Just that's not what a
Yeah.
Caesar is. I'm just like, why am
Yeah.
I adding that stuff in it? So I put spinach and I put red onions in it.
Yeah.
Caesar dressing, and then she heated the chicken up, which is like, okay, that seemed weird. And then
Yeah.
wrapped all together, then grilled,
Right.
and then I'm eating it, and I'm just like, it was
It.
so funny because like I was
Yeah.
eating it, and I'm like, okay, this is like, this is why I don't like burritos. I was just eating it. I was like, this is why I don't like burritos. Because it's
Yeah.
like hot and like cold things mixed together. I do not
Oh,
like that
what?
feeling. I don't like that feeling of eating
Yeah.
like hot chicken and then it's like
Oh my God.
soggy lettuce.
You're just not having a good
Oh,
time.
it was
Yeah,
so
that was a
gross. It was so
bad,
gross.
bad
I
move.
ate it, and after I ate it, like I literally like
You're like,
forced myself to eat
and I hope I'm not sick, and then you were.
just chug down like a Pepsi. I
Oh,
felt so sick after. Like I was like,
oh
I
my
need to
God.
lay down. I need
Yeah.
to like just like peace out for like maybe 20-30 minutes, sit down and like get my bearings. And like all seemed well from there. But I just knew that at that point, I was like, that was disgusting. Like I'm never eating there ever again, ever again. Some
Yeah.
things you're just
Yeah.
never. That's one of them.
Right.
Never, ever again am I going to Subway ever again. And I knew I haven't eaten in there in God knows how long.
I wish I could
Like
say the same. I think I had a Subway last week, but it was a sub. It wasn't a wrap. And maybe did you go later or was it
it was
midday?
just like it was like noon. It was like
Oh my
regular time.
gosh. Oh
Yeah, it was
boy.
like
Oh. All right.
lunch or
Well,
one.
yeah, and I have heard bad things from Subway from other people,
Oh
so I
my
think
gosh,
you're
it
you're
was
not in the
so.
minority
My
here.
dad told me he never eats there because it's gross. Like you don't ever eat there. So I
Yeah.
always thought, okay, well, I'll just try this one time. And
Yeah.
I just like,
I'll
oh,
give them a chance. And look at what they did to you. They massacred your stomach.
I woke up the next morning like I felt like I was on a. Okay, there's that song by Pepto Bismol, nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset
Just
stomach,
upset
diarrhea.
stomach. Yeah.
All the categories, they all make sense. Except when I was a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, all these categories except heartburn and nausea. I was like, what is heartburn and what is nausea? I don't understand. How is your heart burning? It makes no sense.
Yeah. What's wrong
And
with the
what
bills?
And what is that word? Nausea? Like, what is that word? And why is it spelled like that? I was just always
Okay.
so confused about those two things.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, what? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I've had heartburn before, and I'm like, this is what heartburn is? Why is it called heartburn? It should be called like throat burn or like chest burn.
Yo, yeah, yeah, that's a good point,
Like,
eh?
why as a little
Esophagus
kid?
burn. Yeah.
As a little kid, I'm thinking my heart should be like burning. Like, this
Yeah,
part
yeah,
should be
my
like
chest is
inflamed.
heated. Yeah.
Like, that burns. Anyways, besides the point.
Yeah, lazy doctors, who knows? Unimaginative people.
Rarely, like, have I ever had nausea?
Mhm.
Was I ever nauseous? Like when I woke up, I
Right.
was like, it's the weirdest thing. Like I woke up and like
Yeah.
normally I'm just like my lights turn like they're like automatic,
You're a
so
morning person. Yeah.
they'll like turn on at like a certain time, and it's like
Yeah.
like I'm just like ooh, just hopping out of bed like the Snow
Yeah.
White with the little bird, and all that. I'm just like hopping
Right.
out.
Yeah, yeah.
Not that morning. That morning I woke up,
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
whoa! It's like it was literally stepping off a boat. Like I was like, what the hell? Whoa! I was like, I need to lay back down. It was just the
I
weirdest
have
thing.
been poisoned. Yeah, like you could immediately tell your body was messed up.
Oh, I was like, what is going? And then I went to go make my coffee. I couldn't even
Yeah.
sip the coffee. I was like, this
Oh
is
yeah.
awful. Like I
Yeah.
hated it. It was just the worst thing. I don't wish food poisoning upon anyone.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't puke or have the shits.
Oh, no
But
kidding. What? You didn't get either. Oh,
it
you just
was
had like a
just like
stomachache the whole
that's
time.
the thing. It was just like
And like
sitting and
hangover.
just like it was just like it's almost like I probably would have been better if I didn't eat food after. Like I had a huge meal after, and that meal just
Right,
went like
right.
crushed it down. And that Harvey's meal was good. Like after I was done, I was like, that was good.
Especially compared to what your lunch was. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
only
I was like,
imagine, right?
thank
That
God, Harvey's is
experience.
killing
Yeah.
it. And you know what? And like even like Harvey's like on a bad day is like still good. Like it was the I
Yeah,
can
for
tell like the
sure.
hot dog wasn't the best. Like it wasn't because I've had it before where it's the freshest and it's like oh it's
Yeah.
later in the night. They're not gonna have the best. No one's ordering hot dogs. Like I love hot dogs and like I stopped eating meat for a little bit, so I was like, oh my god, I want a hot dog.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was so good. It was so
You
damn
still
good.
got it.
But
Wow,
that's why I
yeah.
think I didn't puke because it's like that just like submerged it, and it was like I could just
It mixed in
feel
with the
it.
poison, and then it went.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could just sit it,
Right.
feeling just sitting there, and like still even now, I can kind of like every now and then I'm like, oh, it's still
Oh my gosh.
subconsciously there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, how many days has it been now?
This is like the fifth day, the fourth of going on the fifth day.
Oh my
I
gosh.
think
Wow. Yeah, that's
this is like,
intense.
yeah, it's hard to tell like when, but yeah, it's just like, oh, it was just off. I literally did not leave my bed for like literally 3 full days. I was like in my
The
bed, like
weekend was
I'm
just
not,
gone. Yeah.
I'm not. It's
Ugh.
brutal.
Oh, also, so I did. This isn't planned. This is just spontaneous. But are weekends just done because of
I
COVID?
guess
Like,
so.
I think weekends don't exist anymore, right? I mean, I haven't had that experience of being like, yeah, it's the weekend. Let's go out. Let's go to the movies. Let's do
Yeah,
something. Do a movie night. Like, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
obviously, I guess work is still a thing that makes weekends exist because people work Monday to Friday. But
Yeah,
aside from
people
that, like, yo, there's nothing to
true.
look forward to. There's no like Saturday night thing.
Well, there's cheese.
There's cheese though. That's hey, cheese on a like Monday night, on a Tuesday, Wednesday. Heck yeah,
And that's
that's
where
true.
like to be honest, that's like where I feel like I'm getting like the slightest bit of excitement because I'm literally like at home by myself and like I'm
Yeah,
just thinking people live on their own. Yes, they live on their own, but they're not on their own in quarantine. And like
it's true.
now people are on their own in quarantine, so it's different. But on
Yeah,
top of being alone in quarantine, a lot of people are still going to work and like socializing.
yeah, yeah.
I'm just like in a really rare like category where it's like
You're
I'm
actually isolating just all the
really,
way,
yeah, like literally
straight up.
isolating by
Yeah,
myself. And I always keep thinking of it as like, ooh, like I'm like part of an experiment.
yeah,
I'm on
exactly. Yeah, you
Black
are.
Mirror, like or something. I'm like, I'm on an experiment. I'm just like one
Yeah,
person.
literally.
Let's see how crazy they get. Like each
If we
day,
just
like
keep,
can they?
yeah,
Yeah, like
if
throw in some
COVID
food poisoning.
continues,
Yeah,
yeah. Oh
throw in
my
food poisoning.
God,
Can they handle this? And I'm just like, God, this is brutal. Like I'm just like this
things
20,
get
like I
crazy.
said, 2020 needs to let me out. I'm ready. Like get
Yeah,
me
yeah.
off this ride. I don't want to be part of it anymore.
I know,
2020 is
but
like,
hey, man. If you've been seeing the memes, a lot of people are expecting worse things to come. There's like the giant wave that is 2020 that's like crashing over us, and then behind it you see 2021 that's even bigger. It's like I don't
oh
know if
my
better things are coming.
gosh.
No, no,
Oh
no.
my
It
gosh.
will, it will, but it'll take a long time. It'll take like 8 months before we finally get the vaccine. Like 2021 is still gonna be an endurance run, a
Yeah,
test.
like I think it's gonna be like. Have you seen any of these protesters? These people
Well,
are
yeah, yeah, we were showing it last week. Oh my God, like it's ridiculous. They're
it's
insane.
insane. It's like what is
Like
going
you're the
on right now?
reason
What
for
is
this
going on?
infection.
What is going on? Like I just need like it's like. Oh, God. But then
Get them
again,
out of here.
people
Yeah,
are losing jobs. So like, what do you mean? At the same time, it's like these people are losing
they got
jobs
nothing
and
else going on, so
they don't
they
have
do this.
anything else going on, and they can't pay their bills, so they out on the streets screaming.
Yeah, exactly. They're just out on the street with Trump signs screaming. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, why not? What the heck, you know? What else are you gonna do? Yeah, that's true.
So one other thing you were saying that your girlfriend had food poisoning too.
Yes. So you're not alone. That's, I guess,
The
the
story there.
difference is that you were just left to your own devices, and meanwhile, I was there to like nurse her. But she,
Oh
yeah, she got
wow!
food
I wish I
poisoning.
was nursed.
Yeah, hey, I could just come over to you and nurse you
Just
in
like
another world and where COVID's gone, right? Yeah, exactly. I can give
God.
you the virtual hearts. But yeah, yeah, she got it. Okay, I won't say what she ate because I don't want to be throwing out baseless accusations, but we're pretty sure we know the company that gave it to her. I'll just say that much. And I'll also say this, I can't say the name. It's a tongue twister kind of a name. Anyway, that's all I'm going to give you.
Okay.
So she's eating this thing, this treat, just having a good time, and then all of a sudden she feels this like seizing sensation, right? Not even in her stomach, but like above it. She's like,
Mm.
ooh, like in her liver or something, like she's gonna die, like this insane sensation. And she's like, okay, I guess I'll
Scary.
go to the bathroom. And she's sitting there, and nothing's going on. And the pain just keeps rising and rising that she literally like collapsed on the floor.
Oh
Like
my
it was
God.
insane. And then she calls me and like I think she's having an aneurysm or something because she's like, I've collapsed and I don't know what's happening. I'm like, are you having a heart attack? Should I call 911? She's like, no, 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 just come home. And so I literally like ditched work like in the middle of the day and drove home to see her. And then that's when I found out it was food poisoning. But at the time, like imagine you leave to do work and stuff and you leave your loved one alone at home with no one there and she collapses. And that's like the scariest idea. Like what if she just died and then I wasn't there, right? It's Oh my gosh. I was
I
thinking like, did you have a stroke? Did you have a heart attack? Did you have an aneurysm? Like what happened? Like you just collapsed and you don't know why and like oh it's so scary. But anyway, yeah, so it
oh
was
my
food poisoning.
god.
Um and then the food poisoning ended up plaguing her all throughout the night. And then the next day, she was getting better. And like, but I was giving her like a single piece of toast. I was doing that thing where she's basically not eating anything, right? And she's feeling
Yeah.
better. And then basically it's like healed. So we have like a normal kind of meal for dinner. And then we go to sleep. Sunday comes and it comes right back. And it's like awful. And yeah, it's ridiculous. It had like this weird second wave. But then it stopped being above her stomach and it was now like in her stomach. And then now it's been another day and we think she's okay. But
Oh gosh.
crazy, man. Crazy, crazy, crazy food poisoning. What the heck? People are stopped giving a shit about food, I guess. I don't know
Oh
what's going
my
on there.
god. I just think this is the thing. I'm just like, what is? Because I'm
Yeah,
like
I don't know.
scared now to like eat out. But like
Well,
at the
just
same
don't go to
time, I'm
Subway at
just
the
like,
very least. You know where to go. Go to Harvey's. You gotta find the safe places.
Harvey's was so good. The fries are so good there, and they're so crispy and they're so hot and like
Yo, Canada
fresh.
rep. Yeah,
Oh, they're so good.
absolutely. We know how to make it.
And they have like good burgers. They have like these new double cheeseburgers, like with the cheese inside the burger. Oh,
Nice.
so
Yeah.
good. It's just so good. Oh, are we losing Joe here? Hi, Joe. Where are you?
Oh,
Where'd you
am I
go?
gone?
Where'd
Am
you
I
go?
here? You
You
can't
are,
see
but
me?
you're frozen on mine.
Oh no. But can you hear me?
Now there you are. Hi. You're back. Was
Hey,
I
I'm back.
frozen on yours or no?
No, you're totally fine. Yeah.
Oh,
That's because
cool.
normally you freeze when I freeze too. Interesting.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no
so
freezing.
okay, I have a through line going back to auditory hallucinations. So speaking of supernatural entities, if I may in fact be a medium and I'm experiencing the talkings of ghosts, um, there's one thing that a lot of people believe in, and that is destiny. They think that the hand of time or the universe is being controlled through this grand storybook, this timeline of causation, pulling someone one way or the other, like, oh, this thing happened to me and this thing happened to me so that I could meet my love or whatever, right? Like, um, I had an experience that I will not call destiny, but I will say it was several coincidences all stacked on top of each other, and it led to an amazing thing. So I'm going to start with a backdrop. I'm going to give you this little backstory here. So back in, I think it was early September, Microsoft allowed the pre-ordering to begin on their latest Xbox Series consoles that are coming out. They were like, pre-order now, starts at 10 a.m. And I was like, on a road trip with my girlfriend at the time, and I was like secretly trying to pre-order this without telling her because like I didn't want her to know how much it was. And I'm like trying to pre-order this thing, so I'm like hiding it from her. But there's like no signal because I'm up north. I'm like in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like trying desperately to get a signal.
Get
And
me this console.
yeah, and I'm trying to get it, but it's sold out like super, super quick. And I was like, oh damn, like I was so upset. I was like, now I have to wait an entire month until November, and then that's when it, or 2 months until it finally comes out. So I was upset, but I was like, whatever, right? I'm having a good time with this road trip. I shouldn't ruin it by being upset about the pre-order being bought out by everyone else, right? But I didn't expect it. I was like, I didn't think Xbox was that popular. I thought PlayStation was super popular, and Xbox was kind of like secondary, but sold out super quick, like inside of 30 minutes. And then, so I don't get it, right? Fast forward to November, it's released, but there's no way to get it because through COVID protocols with Best Buy and Walmart and all these other stores that are selling this new Xbox, they're like online order only. But guess what? They got limited stock first off, and also to pre-order something as soon as it becomes available means you got to have fast fingers, and no finger is faster than a digital finger. I'm talking about
Yeah.
bots. These
Yeah.
scammer people, whether they're from Russia or just they're from Canada because you have to pick it up from the store. But these sons of guns got like 1,000 bots that are just constantly clicking refresh on a web page until it becomes available and then buying it and reserving it. And then they just
Yeah.
buy out the entire stock, artificially inflating their demand and making like artificial scarcity, and then they're selling it on eBay for double the price for like $1,000, like $1,200. It's insane.
Yeah. How do you feel about
And
this?
it's very upsetting because I'm like you're literally scum of the earth. It's like you're making money by doing nothing. You're literally buying consoles and selling it back instantly for more money. They're like
Yeah.
vultures because that's like a term for real estate people who like instantly buy a house and then just flip it. and
I hope
sell it.
something. I wish something happens though that like where they won't be able to sell it for the same double. Like, I hope they
Yeah,
catch on because like the PS5 right they're doing this with the PS5 and it's
exact
what
same thing. Yeah,
$1,000 for a freaking PS5, which
yeah,
doesn't make any sense to me because okay, get this.
yeah.
Is this weird? Because like how much? What's the Xbox called?
Xbox Series X, and the only reason it's called that is because Xbox One came out at the same time as PlayStation 2. So they weren't going to call the Xbox an Xbox 2, the second one that came out, so they called it a 360. That way, PS3, Xbox 360, it seems like they're competing. And then
Okay.
Xbox 3 comes out, but PlayStation 4 does. So like we can't call it an Xbox 3 because it'll seem like we're weaker to our competitors. So they call it an Xbox One, which is really fucking dumb. And then this new one comes out, and they're like, we can't call this an Xbox 4 because PlayStation 5 came out. So we called it an Xbox Series X or S. It's very stupid, very bad name calling. They should have called it just Project Scarlet or something, right? Like just give it a name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow, it was quite interesting. But yeah, I heard about the bots buying the PS5s and people. It's $1,000 for PS5, which is quite okay. This is what I find so interesting is like
Yeah.
that console right is like $500, whatever, 600
Yeah.
bucks,
Yeah.
700
500
bucks,
bucks. Yeah.
which is like okay, cool, right? But what I find interesting is like an iPhone is like $1,000 regular.
Yeah. Yeah. Straight up.
And like I don't know why. I obviously like an iPhone can do a lot more and like is you're gonna like use it and all these things, but
You can bring it with
it's
you.
still like
Convenience.
it's still like the like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like quantity. Like
Yeah.
aren't you getting a lot more out of like usage out of a PlayStation or an Xbox than you would out of your I don't know. I mean
No,
your
no, no. Or,
phone.
or, or maybe like
How
you're
am I
trying to
putting
say
it?
the
I'm putting it in a wrong.
capability. The capability. I think the reason why iPhones are double the price as a console, an entertainment console, is because it's portable. It's the
Yeah.
convenience.
It's a
It's all about
convenience.
location.
And because they've made it like a
They've
high
artificially
product. So it's
created
like,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
They
it's
say
like
it's $1,000, so you have to pay.
I thought it was just so interesting because I love watching games and like all these things. Like I was showing you on a couple episodes ago. Like I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
keep up with the games, all that jazz, and it's like quite interesting how it's like the phone is so like it just seems like it's not the same value as you would think a PlayStation or an
The
Xbox.
latest technology.
You would
Yeah,
think those things would be worth like $1,000.
yeah, yeah. Straight up, I am
Right?
actually surprised that it's
And you would
not
get
like.
an iPhone for like $500-$600. Like it just
Yeah,
seems more.
it seems like it should be flipped. Yeah, literally, literally, it
Hmm.
should
And I
be.
thought about that. I'm like, why are iPhones so expensive? It's ridiculous. It's like $1,000 for an iPhone. It's like,
Yo,
what?
okay, so I want to continue this tangent, but only for a short little bit, and then I'll jump back into the main story. But something that I thought about, like today, like a few hours ago, randomly, I was listening to a radio where people were talking about the Malaysian flight 369 that went missing over the ocean. You remember that?
Yeah, I have a book on it actually. I read a book
Oh,
on
no
it
kidding.
in a night.
So you remember
It's
what
flight
year?
36, 360, 370. Yeah,
I thought it was
370. I think.
370? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what year that happened?
Malaysian flight
I was thinking it
three.
was like 2015 or 16 or something. It happened in 2014.
Yeah.
I'm like, that seems so long ago. It happened 6 years ago. And then on top of that, by comparison, the movie
Mm-hmm.
Frozen, which everybody loves, came out just a year before then.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know why, but in my head, I was like, Frozen came out in 2010. The Malaysian flight happened in like 2016. And it's like, nope, they're right beside each other. That's just a weird thing that I have in my head where I'm like, no, it shouldn't be like that. It should be farther away. Why in my mind do I have these things so far away in time, but it was only 1 year? I don't know what happened to me in that 1 year. I guess a lot
It
of stuff
might
happened.
be. It might also be three. It might be 350. The flight might be 350.
Malaysian flight 350. Yeah.
I don't
Who
know.
knows? Whatever.
Anyways, besides
Number
the point,
schmumber. Yeah.
that is one situation that bugs the heck out of me. And I did so much. I know absolutely every single thing about that situation, and it just still makes no sense to me. It makes no
But
sense, and it bugs the hell out of me.
what are the possible conclusions?
Possible conclusions are
Faulty machinery, terrorism. Anything else?
terrorism. Done.
You think it's only terrorism, or that
Not
terrorism is most
faulty
likely?
machinery. Or faulty machinery, there's always
Because
answers.
automatic GPS, and it like got glitched
Alright.
out and sent them into the middle of the ocean.
That's not.
Okay, whatever. Terrorists. Terrorists are
Yeah,
suicidal, so it's
it's
like it
like
would make sense that they just randomly
it doesn't
crash
make
in the
it
ocean.
does also doesn't make sense too that like it's not found. It doesn't make sense. It just
Well,
doesn't
because it
happen.
crashed in the ocean. Well, it
Yeah, but
crashed in the ocean.
it's still though like a plane crashes in the ocean.
The
There's
ocean's
still gonna be.
70% of the planet. It's so
I
big.
know,
It's
but
crazy.
still, it's not like for instance, they found pieces of the plane, right?
That washed up on shore. Yeah.
But those pieces are said to be artificial. So
Oh,
that's why where it's
yeah.
contradicting, where it's like you can't have a plane that size. And yes,
Yeah.
it falls in the ocean, but and like there has been planes that have went down in the
Disappeared.
ocean and it disappeared. Nobody knows what they are. But
Yeah.
it's not planes that are like carrying thousands of people and
I guess.
no,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. It's a certain circuit like where things go off at a certain point and the plane's still flying and it's going around weird
Yeah.
things and like
Yeah.
it definitely landed somewhere where it's incognito, landed somewhere and is like
It landed in the Twilight Zone.
somewhere. That's what I think.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. It landed in prehistoric times, like
I
that
think.
one episode.
Wait, well, if there's a show, are you talking? Are you referring to this show? There's a show
Yeah,
called.
yeah, the Twilight Zone. Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
The
Twilight
Twilight
Zone?
Zone. You have now entered the Twilight Zone. It's an anthology sci-fi horror show. You know, come on, it's classic. It's iconic.
I think I do. There's also another thing though. There's another show where it's like about that, but it's not called that. It's not called that. What you just called. There's a show
Tales.
where it's like these people go on a plane, right?
Yeah. Are you talking about Lost?
It's almost like Lost, but it's not Lost. Essentially, they go on a plane, right, and then they land, and then people are like, "What? Your plane like was gone? You've been like gone for like 5 years."
Oh, that's
So they
interesting.
land. Yeah, so they land. It's 5 years later.
Ah,
But
what is that? That's like the whole show, the whole series.
Yeah, it's like
Ah,
it's so weird because I tried watching it. It's really bad, but
yeah.
it piqued my interest because I just wanted to know what
The
essentially
premise
could,
is interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like what essentially could be the reason. Like where did the plane go? And like what ended up happening is the plane catches like. Do you want to know what happens?
Well, if you said the show's bad, yeah,
It's bad. It's
might
bad.
as
You don't
well.
want to watch it. Trust me.
Yeah, yeah.
It ends up happening. It's like the plane hits like a weird patch of like turbulence and like
Yeah.
that's the answer. It, like hits a patch of turbulence and like goes off like course for like 5 years, and then they land and like this just doesn't make sense.
5 years, yeah, that don't make sense. It'd be
No,
easier
they
if
would
they just said it was like
age.
the DeLorean. Yeah.
Like what? No, it doesn't make sense.
Like they all went in a coma for 5 years or
That
something.
doesn't
Like how would they not know?
no. It doesn't happen. Like you don't like a plane doesn't just disappear. Like it doesn't happen. Like you're
Yeah.
telling me like a pretzel, nothing, a seat, something. All those things are
Right.
all those
Yeah.
things are meant to float. Like all those things are meant to be float to be found and help people. You're telling me
Yeah.
like even the
Nothing.
Titanic was found. Like the Titanic was even found. Like come on. Like,
That
you know what I
is,
mean?
yeah,
It's like
that's
come
an interesting
on,
observation.
come
How
on.
is it that they were able to directly
They're
find it?
hiding.
I guess, yeah, maybe. Who knows? But anyway. Okay, so we went off track. Let's talk about sequence of events leading to a positive outcome instead of planes disappearing and yeah, keeping all the passengers. So I'm trying to get this goddamn Xbox, right? And it's just not happening. I'm like, give me the Xbox.
Dang.
I'm trying. I'm like following everything. I'm like following Best Buy, like Toronto's Best Buy's Twitter page because they say when they restock. I'm going insane, right? I'm subscribing to newsletters that are specifically created to tell you when restocks happen of certain products. So I'm like
You need
signing up
this
for the Xbox
Xbox.
One. I'm becoming obsessed. I'm like having dreams about it. It's insane, right? Like I'm clearly I don't have a lot going on in my life where I'm like obsessing about this thing, right?
It's all good.
And yeah, and then fast forward to I don't know when. I guess a week ago. Fast forward to a week ago, right?
Okay.
So we're still in the past, even though I just said fast forward, but you know what I'm saying. And my girlfriend and I acquire a universal TV stand that we're going to attach to this giant TV that was gifted to us from her family. So I'm like, all right, let's put this thing up because otherwise it was wall mounted, but our landlord's like, no wall mounting. So it's like, oh no, we need a stand. So they get us a stand. They get us these two metal legs. I install the thing out of the box. The instructions say to place the TV screen down and then but on an edge. That way you can have like the legs stick out. And so you screw it into the back. So I'm like, okay. So the TV is like big. It's like 65 inches, right? and I have this little TV stand that's like 45 inches. So I place it screen down on this TV stand that's smaller than the TV. So the edges are kind of like hanging over. And so I'm like screwing this thing into the back. And then as I'm lifting it up, I hear this crunch sound, and and I'm like, uh-oh, and I put the TV up, and I'm like, it's fine. There's no cracks on it. It's perfectly fine. There's 0 cracks on the TV. I'm like, I knew that was risky, but no problem, right? We got
Why
nothing
are you doing this by? Wait, your girlfriend needs to be lifting this with you. What do you? Well, she has
No,
food
I'm like,
poisoning.
whatever, I got
Just
this.
saying that.
No, she was just chilling. I was
I'm
like, nah,
kidding.
I got this.
No, Joe. Oh my God.
So
No.
we put the TV up, and then I don't even turn it on. I'm like, whatever. So I'm chilling and stuff. And then
that
like
thing
an
is
hour later,
internally shattered. That thing is internally shattered. Are you serious?
So yeah, okay.
Are you serious?
So we turned it on like an hour later, and the whole fucking screen is just shattered. And I was like, no. Yeah, it was digitally shattered. It had internal bleeding. The TV was ruined forever. We destroyed the TV. It was very bad. I say we. I just
Yeah, I'm gonna say
me
we.
personally.
Now you're throwing her in?
No. She did nothing. Oh my god. Anyway, so
God.
we had just got this TV
I'm
too,
so
and it was huge, and we're like, okay, this is awesome. Here we go. And then I destroyed it. So I was like, Sam.
Did y'all keep the bill?
No. It was gifted to us. So it's not like we paid for it, but also it's just ruined. It's ruined, and also it's been around for a while.
You just
Like no. It was an old TV. It was gifted to us, and it was like years old. I know. So I destroyed this perfectly good TV. I'm like, okay, so now we're down one TV. What are we gonna do? It's a week before Black Friday, but companies just love capitalism, so they're like, let's do Black Friday a week early. I don't know if you know this, but they were doing that, right? They were having sales.
They're gonna do it early, and they're gonna do it after, and then they're gonna keep going, and it's gonna be Black Friday till like January.
It'll become a month long. Yeah, Black Month. Yeah, it's gonna have a whole thing. But
Black Month.
Oh my god! Wait! That sounds bad. Yeah, could you imagine Black History Month and then right after Black Month? It's just deals. Oh my
Just
god!
deals.
Just sales and sales. Like,
Sales deals
Black
left, right,
Month,
and
baby.
center. Oh my god. Okay, we are
Anyway,
okay.
Anyway, so
this TV is shattered.
Okay, like let's just do a freak out purchase of a TV right now because there's sales. So she's like,
yeah, okay, true. Yep.
So she starts looking up. She's like, anyway, now would be a time to get a TV. So she looks it up. She does the research. We find one at Best Buy. That's a good deal. So we go there. We buy the
deal?
TV.
Gotta hear the deal. What's the deal?
Deal,
people. That's the deal, people. We need inches and we need prices. Like
the
flyer deal.
So it was like originally $6.99, and we got it for like $4.50.
Hello, deals.
Yeah, that's
deals.
tight. That's tight. Yeah, it's
like
4K,
like
120 frames per second. Yeah, hyper defined TV. Amazing stuff. Anyway, we go to Best Buy to pick this thing up, right? Like we reserve it, or I think we tried to and we couldn't. So then we go to the Best Buy that has them available, and we get it. And then something that had become a part of my life now is anytime I go anywhere that's an electronics store, an entertainment store, whatever, I always say, hey, so do you guys have any extra Xboxes, right? I'm just like, I know it's a futile question, but I thought I'd ask anyway. And they go, no, you have to order online, and you got to compete with the fucking bots. But so we go to get this Best Buy TV, and then I'm like, hey, so I know this question is futile, but do you guys have any extra Xboxes, or can I order from your store specifically instead of having to order generally online? He's like, nah, man, sorry, Best Buy isn't good on that. But you know what is good? If you go to Shoppers Drug Mart, they'll just randomly have them behind the counter. Like, they don't advertise that. Like, I think they're doing some pre-orders online. They're all sold out, but you can just go into them and they'll give it to you if they have them available.
This
I'm like,
is the deal.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Okay.
I was like, thanks, thank you for that advice. That's really good advice. I'm like, I'm gonna give you a good review. So we leave the Best Buy, and then I'm driving, and then as I'm driving, I see a Shoppers to the left of me, and I'm just like, hold on, and like I swerve in. I'm like, I gotta check that out, just out of curiosity. So I go to that Shoppers, and I'm like waiting in line because there's only like 2 people working the cash, and then I get to the front, and I was like, hey, do you guys have any Xboxes? And she's like, Xbox. I'm like, turns around, she's like, what, one of these fucking things, and like holds the box. I was like, yeah, give me that. Oh my God, like so much of my life has just been wasted on me obsessing about trying to get it. And I was like, it's right there, give it to me. And she's like, all right, you want the white one or you want the black one? I'm like, I want the black one, please. And she's like, all right, here you go, and just gave it. And I was like, after all of that time, all of that emotional effort and energy I put in. Also, okay, I didn't tell you this part of the story, but previously, probably a week or two before that entire event happened, I started talking to scalpers. I was so desperate that I was like, I'll pay double the price. I'll do anything. Like I was just like,
And this shit's just
so
behind the counter at
I was just so like desperate. I was like shaking. I was just like, I'll do anything. And then I didn't end up doing it. And then yeah, I literally go to the first shoppers I hit right after that guy gives me the advice, and it's right there. It was meant to be. It was a series of fortunate events. Yeah, yeah. So that's my story. Yeah. Now I haven't. Now I got the news box.
It was meant to be. Yeah, for sure.
I was supposed to have broken that TV because not only do we get an even better TV with a better price, that's ours, and then I safely mounted the TV stand. Yeah, I put it on the ground this time instead of hanging off the edge of the table. But yeah, so all is well that ends well, right?
It seemed like the TV was big, too big.
65 inches. Yeah, it was
like
way
big
too.
one to put on a stand.
Yes,
I feel
way
like 45 to like or like 50.
It was a heavy, bulky boy.
But
the one that we got now is a 55, so it's 10 inches down, and it fits. If the stand works, just slap it on, you're good to go. Yeah.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. Wow, that's amazing. So
Got 'em.
have you been like playing games and stuff already?
Yeah, because I got the new Game Pass with it, so I'm playing all the stuff that comes with it. So like playing the
Wow.
Jedi Fallen Order, like you just download games, right? Anything they have in their library. So it's great.
That's
It's great.
amazing. I always wonder that.
Yeah.
Like, why the hell are people buying games in the store? That's so stupid.
Why are you
It's
doing
like
that anymore when they have this
people
subscription
buying
thing?
it from the store. Wow, that's so cool. And can you believe you got your hand? It must feel surreal almost. Like when you go to work,
Yeah,
you're like,
literally.
there's a baby out of the way.
That's when I texted you. I texted you and I was like, boy, do I have a story for you. Because that was such a weird series of events that happened.
That's
like,
amazing.
Oh my God, man.
You deserve that. It means you just like, it means it's just like, that's what some things are just meant to be. Everybody has their, because these people are scamming and like, you ain't trying to be with the scammers. You're just trying to get some.
I was like,
have some cheese, like cheese.
I'm just trying to eat some cheese, play some games. You know, the life I want is a simple life. You know, I just want to chill. People got to be fucking with me. You know, it's ridiculous. All I want to do is eat cheese and play games.
Okay, you know what? Speaking of, I have something to show you.
Yes, please share the screen with the audience.
Speaking of
life, liberty, and love.
Yeah.
Nice.
So these are just some
what's going on here?
Of like people getting their like body cracked.
Oh my God.
But it doesn't seem like this is like are these people wanting to die?
Yeah, that's I'm not liking
like, I don't
that.
like.
Oh, what's this guy gonna do? Oh my God. Oh.
Like, I'm sorry.
I don't like that. That looks like actual murder.
Oh, the sound.
Oh my God.
Oh,
I'll tell you right now, I'm not hearing any of the sounds, and thank God. It's not coming through on my end, but I am happy about that because I do not hear these sounds.
This can't be.
No, dude. If you want to talk about chiropractic, yeah, it's literally a pseudoscience. It's not a real science. They're they're physiotherapists that failed. Oh my God! Like, oh, what are you doing? No, stop! Oh my God!
Like, and is this the girl from Heroes? Like, what the heck? Is this Hayden Panettiere?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like, is that the girl from Heroes? She's not dying, though, because that was her power. Remember? Her power, she was invincible. She can't die. Save the cheerleader, save the world.
Yo, this guy's trying to kill the cheerleader.
He's trying to kill her, too. He's like,
die already.
You think you're invincible?
He's like, I forgot my knife. He's like a really bad assassin. All right, let me try this.
Oh.
Let me try breaking her legs. Oh my God. Stop it, dude. No. Please.
I swear this
No. Ah. All right, that's just goofy. He's just yanking on her. That's ridiculous, man.
Doing like it's just not.
All right, now get out of here. Now, if you don't have my money by Friday, I'm gonna finish you off. This is like idle threats. They're like, oh, you don't have my money? You know what I'm gonna do about that? I'm gonna fucking snap you back. Oh my gosh. I mean, that
The
one looked a
foot,
little bit better, but
the
still,
foot was there too. The foot was there.
oh my god, dude. Just
Oh my
stop. Like
god.
this is just fake. They're just making this
Oh,
up.
so you wouldn't
Oh
get this. You wouldn't get this, eh?
no, I would go to a
Oh,
physiotherapist.
oh my. I just feel like there's
I
no
would go to a
way.
massage therapist. I would go to an actual profession. That's a science. Oh my god,
She's
dude.
screaming. She's like, "Oh my god!" I just feel like there's no way that could be safe.
No, I
There's no
mean,
way.
let me tell you a fun story. Look at him knee chopping her. Okay,
Oh my
I'll tell you a
god.
story. Judo chop and snappy neck. Okay, let me tell you. So I'm working on him on an
Oh.
independent movie. It's it's a very fun movie to be working on, and the lead or one of the leads, it's one of those movies where there's like a kind of an ensemble cast of Canadian actors, and one of the leads, the young hot stud of the bunch, wakes up with a very sore back, right?
It's a
And he
very
kind of
sorry.
calls in saying, "Sorry, I'm going to be late. I set up a chiropractic appointment to fix my back because it's really sore."
Okay.
So he woke up with a really sore back, and he goes to a chiropractor,
Okay.
and the chiropractor does some shit to him. I don't know what he does. He does what we were probably just watching. He's snapping backs and kneeing you right in the shin and all this stupid stuff. And the guy literally had to go to the hospital.
What do
Straight
you
up.
mean?
The actor had to go to the hospital, and we had to cancel the shoot because he went to the chiropractor, and the chiropractor ruined his back. He like snapped it, and it just ruined it. He was like, "Oh," and just like probably dislodged like
Just
one of
like
his spinal
spaghetti.
columns.
Like what are those?
Just like, "You don't need legs," yeah, and just
Oh
ripped out
my.
one of his spinal discs.
Yeah.
No, he
What are
can
the
walk.
discs
He can
got?
walk. He can walk. He can walk. We
What are the
we
discs
we
got
ended up doing the reshoot later, but like, oh.
popped?
But yeah, so straight up, like, and I've just heard several other stories where you go to a chiropractor and you do not have a good time, and you end up having to go to the hospital because they don't know what they're doing because it's not a real science. Just go
Wow.
to a massage therapist if you're in pain. They're actual practitioners, you know. Ugh.
You're ruthless. You're so ruthless.
Anyway, sorry, but straight up, it's not a science. It's a fake science, and they should be ashamed of themselves. Chiropractic as a practice should be shut down. It's the same as like being a fortune teller. It's like, sure, that's entertaining, but like you're gonna actually hurt people. Stop. They're just very bad assassins, right? They're snapping those
Oh
necks.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. They're bad assassins. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
They're trying, but they're
The
too weak. They're
fortune
like,
telling
oh.
one is a little. That's a little like.
It's just
I don't know
pseudoscience.
about assassins. That's like robbery almost a little bit. If that you can
Right.
say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's the analogies we can make. Chiropractors are like a bad assassins, and fortune tellers are like just scam artists,
Because it's like it's one thing when
pickpocketers.
it's like if they're doing it for free, like fortune tellers, or it's like you
Yeah.
have a gift, share for free. Then if you have a gift, share that shit for free.
Or use it to make yourself rich. Why have a business where you're scamming all these people? It's like, why not just win the lottery? You know?
What
If
do you
you
mean?
know, if you know what the number is going to be or whatever, then order that number.
Oh, because don't different people have different psychic powers, and not just they just see the lottery numbers, right?
Well, when I hear fortune teller, I imagine they can tell your fortune. They can see into the future and they can see
Yeah, but seeing into the future doesn't mean you're seeing lottery numbers, does it?
it's all fake anyway. That's the thing. It's poetic. You can make it
Yeah,
mean whatever you want it to mean because it's not real.
yes, you're right.
Or
Yes, you're
sorry,
right.
it's not yet proven. I'll say that, right? I don't want to be ignorant, but it's as far as we know it complete fooey.
Yeah, there's nothing like yeah. So what can you say? What can you do?
Oh, well, and actually, so according to my grandma, fortune telling is evil because it's only Jesus can see the future or something. I don't know. There's a
Yeah,
reason
that's
for it
like
because he's a
my
prophet.
family would say that too.
Yeah, where they're like, don't go to a fortune teller. That's black magic. That's evil. And it's like, all right,
Or
whatever.
like my sister worked at like a fortune teller place for like
What?
she did yeah for like a
What does
couple
she
months
do?
or something.
As like a
I
secretary?
think she I think she would like set everything up for the person. Kind of.
Okay,
She
yeah.
just
So
did
she,
like
yeah,
before
okay.
she like prep everything before the stuff. But
That's so weird.
I remember I went to like my cousins one time
Yeah.
because like my sister and I don't really talk, so like I don't really get to see her or whatever. And then they were like, "How's your sister doing? Like, is she still a witch?" Like they
Oh
were
my God,
were
that's
saying
so
stuff like
funny.
like is she still a witch?
Yeah,
I was
that's
like, "What do
just
you mean?" I was like, "Oh yeah,
yeah. No,
I
what are
was
you
like, I
talking
think
about?
she is."
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's just so funny
I
because it's
guess
like
that's the job she's
you know what
doing,
I mean? It's like, oh,
technically.
I
Yeah,
think she is Soul Witch. Like, I
yeah.
don't know, because like, what
Oh
else?
gosh.
I don't know. Like, that's what those people do, right? Like witches and stuff. They fortune tell. I don't know.
They can
I'm
also
not
tell
trying
the
to,
fortunes of
I'm not
others.
trying
Yeah.
to throw people under the bus, but you know what I
Well,
mean.
because it's all fooey. It's all just make believe,
You're trying
right?
to get
It's
haters. You're trying to get
yeah.
haters right now. You're trying to get people
Oh, me?
outside of your house right now. Yep.
I'm
You're
not
trying to
being
get
a
people
contrarian right now.
trying to get people outside of your house with like pitchforks and
Getting that
stuff.
pitchfork.
Like
So,
witches are
all right.
real. Witches are
What?
real. Witches
No,
are real.
witches are not real. Stop. I'm not a witch. I'm certainly not a witch. I mean, I'm being treated like one. I'm being chased around. I'm hiding in a barn. But aside from that, what are you going to I still
What
have
about
access to the internet.
but what about ghosts? Do you believe in ghosts?
So
With
the only
your
plausible theory I can think of ghosts is if like normally when people say that there's ghosts in like haunted houses, they'll say like um every midnight or every full moon, this person will like walk down the hallway or something, or they'll like stand by a window. You know how that's usually thing is that the ghost does a reoccurring act where it's like at every point at midnight they walk down the halls, right? So my theory on that would be if you die in a traumatic way, a piece of your essence is like echoed in a place, right? Because otherwise, why would a ghost not just fall through the floor if they can walk through walls and stuff, right? Maybe it's because it's not they're not really there. It's a recording of a person who has long died and like trapped in the ether of the beyond. And so you're seeing like a skipping record of them continuing doing the single act of every midnight walking down the hallway or something, right? So that's the best thing I can come up with. I mean, it's like,
well, it's
yeah,
just
yeah,
there's
that's
so many people that have seen ghosts. So many people that have
I
think
know.
they've seen ghosts. Like there's so many, and like same thing with aliens. So many people they've been abducted by aliens. There's aliens, so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
And
hard to.
discount all these people, except to say that humans, like aside from the ones that are liars, right? Like you can tell the ones that are trying to take advantage of the situation, be like, oh yeah, totally, I saw ghosts too, and they're like trying to get on TV or whatever. But for the people who
Yeah,
legitimately believe that they experienced something otherworldly, whether it be Bigfoot, aliens, ghosts, that kind of thing, or like a possession where like they feel like this pressure on their chest and they feel like they're being possessed, all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Everything that they're talking about can also be explained by it being a machination of the mind, of it
okay.
being
Just something,
psychosomatic.
yeah.
Like, yeah, because there's never been recordings, legible recordings of an act taking place. That's what people are desperate for. That's why like when I was younger, I like would, love to watch like scary like
I love
actual
watching
footage
them.
of ghosts, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, where it's like ghost shows and all that kind of
I
stuff
love
because you're like
unsolved
trying to
mysteries, all that stuff. I love it.
yeah. Yeah, same. That was my big thing is because like I wanted video proof. I wanted the pictures of
You
the,
need a
Loch
lot of
Ness
people need
monster and all
proof,
that stuff. Yeah.
but maybe something is just there's some things they're
Can't take a
unexplainable for
picture
some reason. Like some like people think that like oh they're hot. Like think of it as like um okay like I don't know how to put it. Like
Well, it's a
a
sense
camera isn't something that like okay it's a camera it's a
captures light,
man-made thing. It captures light, all these things,
right?
but doesn't mean that it's able to capture a ghost, does it? Because we
If
don't know
if
what a ghost is.
but if we can
But
see the ghost, then it's visual.
true,
So it would
like
only be like in
but the thing
instances
is
where you feel a cold sensation go through you and then you can hear a voice of a ghost. Then you can't
yeah.
take a picture of that because that's,
Yeah,
then
but like in
then you got
some
to try to
sense
record the
though,
audio.
in some sense, like say for
Yeah.
example, like does the ghost have the ability to only be seen through the person that it wants to be seen, like where everything else is camouflage, right?
Yeah. And then
Right.
other
So it's
people
like
will say, yeah,
you're
like
crazy.
dogs
So
can
it's
see
like
ghosts or oh yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
or like,
exactly.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
people will say, "Oh, you're crazy," or like you're it's a thing of your mind. Like I personally have never experienced any ghosts or anything like this, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
I've heard
You want to believe.
many,
Yeah.
many stories. I'm more of a, I'm always on the spectrum. I like to hear everybody's point of view, and it's just like, all right, I'll just sit right in the middle here and just chill until I get what I need to get. If some proof then comes out, then it's like, okay, boom, there's proof.
Got
Then
him.
okay, there we
Yeah.
go, we got him.
Yeah.
But right now there is no proof, so you can't really say anything. But at the end of the day, we can't say
There's
all
so
these
many
people.
stories.
It's different situations too, where it's like there's kids and there's it's like, but then when
Yeah.
then you go into like mediums, and the mediums are like that's a totally
Yo,
you know what I mean.
a
There's so
Long Island
many.
medium. Yeah.
There's so
Oh my
many.
God.
right? It's just like so much.
It's all storytelling. I'll say this. Um, are the odds, and you're completely right to be in the middle because there's no way to prove or
There's
disprove,
no,
right?
yeah,
So it's a point where you look at one side where there's so many people telling these stories that it seems like of course it must be true, and it's this thing where until you personally experience it, you don't know what it's like for the other people that are trying to explain to you that they've experienced this
exactly.
paranormal activity, right? But then you look on the other side of things and you're like, we know as a matter of fact that people hallucinate all the time, and then that's not an unnormal thing. You don't have to be crazy to hallucinate. I hallucinate noises before I open a door, and then it
Yeah,
stops. Right?
right.
People see things in the dark because when there's low lighting, your brain interprets the image in front of you. It makes stuff up more. There's more
Yeah,
room for error, right? And your brain will like see a shadowy figure, but then you turn the light on and it's just like a floor lamp, right? There's so many situations where people have an experience that can be easily explained by it being something else, but they want it to be the spooky thing. And
but
we understand that
fair
the brain is
enough.
extremely fallible. And plus it's part of a culture. Of
I
course,
completely agree. I
yeah,
completely agree
and
with you.
yeah,
But
and
it's
yeah,
that's just something that like it needs an explanation. Not it's like
yeah, it's still
I'm the type of
missing.
person where
Still
it's like
missing.
I want an explanation always. Like I need an answer.
Yeah,
But some things I think don't have an explanation. And like that's
yeah,
one of them.
yeah.
Because it's
The,
like
the mystery.
each individual person is different. So it's like you can't discredit someone that because the lighting was low or like no, if somebody said they saw something, then it's like you can't really if that's what they saw.
Yeah, it's the
You
it's
know
the
what I
same as
mean?
like yeah, it's the
It's
same
just
as
like
the medical field. If somebody says that they're feeling something, you can't know what
yeah.
they're feeling. You just have to assume that what they're telling you is true, and then try to base
And then try
your
to
assessment off of what they're saying. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. And it's like
um,
a lot of the times too, it's you get falsely diagnosed. Like you get
yeah, because the
incorrectly
doctor's just
diagnosed. They
guessing.
don't know.
Yeah, it's all based
Yeah.
on what you're feeling.
And this
Yeah,
is kind of the same thing where it's like nobody really knows, but we're just taking guesses that maybe it was just a little because there has some people need an explanation. It's and I completely
yeah,
I'm totally like it's like the creation of the world and like God and all these things. It's like there needs to be an
yeah, yeah. All the
explanation for
stories.
some people, but like some things there's no explanation for some things. It's like where did we come
Yeah,
from?
yeah,
There's no explanation to that.
yeah. Well, I will say there's several fossil evidence that say that we did slowly evolve
Okay.
from the ape family, right?
From
So
the
it's
apes.
like,
Okay. But where do the apes come
yeah,
from?
the apes come from the monkey gene, and then the monkey gene comes from, I think, the rodent gene, and then the rodent gene eventually becomes the amphibious gene of the fish, and then the fish gene becomes single-celled organisms, and the single-celled organisms
Where
become
did the single cell come from? That's the
that
part
that comes
that it
from an
comes down to.
RNA strand, and that's just a strand of different chemicals that started
Correct.
bonding. So it's extremely blurry the way that life starts, right? Life didn't start from nothing and then something. It started from like from the same thing that chemicals do, right? We're not going to call a volcano alive, but it's clearly moving and interacting with itself, and particles are reacting. That's the same
Correct.
thing that RNA was doing before it became DNA, and then as soon as it was DNA and it was those little spirally things, they started to clump together like by accident, almost like a virus does. Because you know how viruses aren't real; they're not classified as alive. So it's like viruses are still dangerous, but they're not alive. They're like the only thing
Yeah.
that we don't classify as alive. Everything else that moves and interacts with things we call alive because they can like reproduce. But yeah, so it was just this very slow process of these strands of clumps of DNA hitting each other, but
To
then
create.
eventually, when enough things came together, then you can create a cell. And as soon as you have a single cell, then that single cell will maybe eat another cell, and then it'll become a multicellular organism. And then eventually, yeah, you got people. It's a very super long road that leads to intelligent life where we see our own reflection
To
in the water and go, I'm alive. And you can look up in the sky and like know that you're alive and that you're going to die and all this
yes.
craziness.
But at the end of the day,
We
people
weren't
can
there though.
say people we weren't. Yeah, people can just say that it's there's
Hey, I've never
no
been in space, flat Earth, because we
like
don't technically, I was
like
never
that's all we know. There's no other
our sensations. Yeah. You
like
just got to trust other people. That's what the
it's
sci-
hard. It's hard. It's
I
like
know,
that's
I know.
all we know. But it's like
Yeah.
is
That's the
that
scientific community. You just have to believe what everyone's saying. You know, it's like, oh, the Big Bang is probably how the universe started. Okay. It's like until we get something else that makes more sense that enough
yeah.
people agree on, we'll just
It's that
say
Oh,
So
that's the
far,
theory
it's
that
the Big
works
Bang.
out.
Yeah, so far that's the one that works. It still doesn't answer it because what happened before then? It's just all we have so far. They go, that's probably
Exactly. And that's like how I personally feel, where it's like it's just too early to say. We gotta wait a little bit longer until we get the answers. And
well,
then
you
those
you
answers
you
will
say
come.
we, but what if it's like long after we're dead, right? Us as a human species will have to wait generations and hundreds and thousands of years until we can finally do enough testing to actually come up with something that
It's
works.
such an interesting topic though, because it's like it's so hard to. It's just I would love just to get like, can we just get a little bit of proof of like some little bit of
Get me a
some sort
picture
of
of an alien.
ghostish alien
Yeah.
something like that's like that
Yeah.
isn't a blur, that isn't a like far away. It's just give me something. But
Something.
there's so many people that are just have said they've seen aliens, they've been abducted by aliens, they've seen ghosts, they've
But then
experienced just like so many things. It's
But then
crazy.
I will say this. It's important to keep in mind that ghosts and aliens are a part of our culture.
Mm,
So
true.
there, and it's the same with
Very
like
true.
people who are raised Christian and Catholic. When they have seizures, are more likely to experience going to heaven versus like someone who's Buddhist who has a seizure. They're not going to experience going to heaven. They'll just see a bright
Such a
light.
good point.
They're
Yeah.
not going to see
Such a good
pearly
point.
gates, but then the other people who are raised with that imagery as a child will see the pearly gates,
Yeah.
and it's because our brains will, So it's like it's part of our Western culture that ghosts and aliens exist, and like Area 51 aliens, like the little
True.
Martian guys, right? Or the tall gray guys, right? There's like the two different types, but it's like yeah, because that's being fed to us as children in our media and just folk tale and all that stuff. It
Mhm.
is interpreted by our imaginations. That being one possibility, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
it's
that's a
either
really good
real,
point. I like that point a lot because
yeah, it's either because it's part of our culture, that's
it's
why
kind of
everyone
true.
is experiencing the same thing, or it's because it's real and that's why we're experiencing the same thing, right? It's one or the other.
It's iffy. It's iffy because it's like, how come nobody's experiencing something that we didn't know? Like you mentioned, it's how come we only
Yeah.
know aliens and like Bigfoot? How come nobody's seeing like
A
a
different
giraffe or something
creature that
that's
we
like
don't know what the
flying
heck.
like a dragon or something like you know what I mean? Like something
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like that isn't what we're used to.
A
Like why
completely
isn't
made
it
up.
all
Yeah.
like a Gyarados or something? Do you know what a
Yeah, yeah.
Gyarados is?
A
It's like a
Gyarados.
it's like
I don't know. I don't know.
it's a Pokemon, but it's like a
Okay. No, could you imagine if we saw Pokemon in real life? That'd be insane. Oh yeah, you're gonna pull it up. What is? Does it have a long neck? Is it like a giraffe?
it's like it's like
Like a Loch Ness monster looking thing?
it's like a
Oh,
dragon.
is it that cartoony looking dragon?
Like a yeah.
All right, what do we
You
got?
see it here?
Oh, that thing. Yo,
So
yeah,
like how
that's
come
like a
nobody's experiencing this like flying in the air? Do
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like why aren't there flying dragons with no wings and like no body and no
the Chinese
fingers
dragon.
and like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like everything has like little tiny hands or like it'll be like a giant
Yeah, true.
serpent. Like you know what I mean? It's like how come it's
Yeah,
nothing like
yeah.
it can float in the air because it can fly without wings. It's like everything has to have wings or like it has to be
Yeah.
in like a spaceship or something. Do you know what I mean? It's just an example
Yeah.
of like
Yeah, yeah.
something of like why does it
A
always have to
genuinely original idea that
yeah, like something that's just
yeah.
like what? That is there's no explanation.
Yeah, yeah. Other than this guy's just super creative, right? But if this guy's never had a history of being creative, and all of a sudden he comes up with this crazy thing, it'll make you stop and think a little.
Just
Yeah,
something.
something. Yeah. But anyway, okay. So I wanted to show one interesting thing to you.
You show me so many
So
interesting things. I love
that's true. That's true. I have shown you more than one, but
it.
I want to show you this one as maybe like the last topic that I bring up for our conversation today. So I'm gonna get it ready, and now I'm gonna share my screen. Have you heard the word murmuration before?
Murmuration, no.
Yeah.
Murmuration, no. No.
So let me pull it up here. Let me know if you're seeing what I'm seeing.
I'm seeing what you're seeing.
You're seeing it? Okay.
Yeah, murmuration.
This is murmuration.
Actually, maybe I do know.
It's birds when they come together and flock in synchronous, beautiful dance.
Interesting.
It's like when they look like clouds. It's gorgeous.
Okay, what's so interesting is when you're experiencing those, they're kind of scary, but they're
What? No,
so
no, no. I love it.
no, they're so cool though. Like they're kind of scary
Yeah.
because it's almost like something you don't see. It's like, is there something wrong? But no, it's like they're doing this. What's so interesting though is when they
Yeah.
make like swift, like sometimes they'll make like really swift
Jutted movements.
Yeah, and it's really interesting how they all work together. Like
They just do it automatically because it's instinct, right? It's like a
why did they just do?
group
Yeah,
thought.
like
They
how
just
do they?
walk into this thing and all start doing it. Yeah, I don't
It's
know how
so
they do it,
interesting how
right?
that works, right?
Because only certain species of birds do it. Like those were sterlings, which I think are the most famous ones to create that sensation known as murmuration, where they all go together. Because they look like a school of fish. Fish do that as well, right? Yeah, where they just
It
all
literally
go
looks like
together and they just all
so
move
cool.
perfectly in sync with each other. Oh, it's great.
Also, what's kind of cool is how they have, I guess, like a perception of their space and their surroundings because they're not
Yeah, they
running,
have
they're not like
perfect.
flying into each other at all,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
ever. Like they're just
Do
you
you,
can see them like falling out of the sky, but they're like
yeah. Do you know what
so
that's called? That's called proprioception. Pro
proprioception.
proprioception. That's the
Proprioception.
sensation of distance from like your head, like where your sensors are coming from, your sight and your hearing and everything, for the
Right.
rest of your body. So obviously birds have it because they're able to do that, and fish have that, and we have that where you don't have to like look where you're walking the whole time. You can just walk without looking, and that's proprioception. Your ability
Okay.
to just know where the length of your body is. So you're not constantly falling into stuff all over the place. You're
Yeah,
able to
like
just
your
do things
perception.
without even having to look because your body's
Cool.
like in sync with itself. And that's
Cool. Good to
like
know.
people who are really good at like reverse parking or something.
I
The
love reverse
car
parking.
is basically becoming an extension of their body because
Yeah, yeah.
they're able to do it so well. It's because they have really good proprioception. And that's
I
the same
have
with
that.
like
I had that.
you have that?
I
Yeah,
have
I
that.
have
Yeah,
that
I
too.
had that too.
Yeah.
I have that.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
like. I can kill. I don't get nervous even too. Like sometimes they'll come out,
Yeah.
start watching me. I'm like, I'll do the parallel park with everybody watching me. I'm not hitting no
Yeah.
curb.
Nice.
I don't get nervous.
And the another really good example is like in the ancient times with the samurai, you know how they had their blades, their katanas?
Okay, yeah.
The sword becomes an extension of their arm because
Love a
they're
good
so
sword.
practiced and trained with it, and that's their proprioception.
I love a good sword. I have one here, like a little mini one on the stand. It's like here,
Oh, wait. I don't know if you'd shown that on the Unplugged, but you got, whoa, that's so mini.
like a mini one.
Whoa. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. Nice. Oh my God. Wow.
Keep
What
on
is that? Is
displaying
that,
in case anybody wants to try to bug with me. It's actually a
yeah.
letter opener.
I was going to ask, yeah, is it a letter opener or a paperweight? Yeah, it's a letter opener.
Yeah,
Nice.
but it's so like nice and heavy and
So
dense.
cool.
I have
Yeah.
like a big one there too, like on the wall. But I
Nice.
love swords. They're like my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Like they're just so cool
Nice.
to me. I have one
Yeah.
here too, like a giant one. But I don't know.
Oh,
I just feel like,
oh my God,
yeah, I have one
nice.
here.
That is so cool. Yeah, I have not asked you enough about your tattoos.
I just like love swords. I think they're so like. I just think it's just
Because they're the
like you
coolest,
mentioned, they're
man.
like an
Yeah.
extension of you. It's just like
Yeah, it's like an art, right? Yeah, it's like an
yeah,
entire thing. Yeah.
they're really cool. I
Oh
love
my
them.
gosh. Yeah.
All
Nice.
right,
Okay.
well, that's speaking of swords and like back breaking and Xboxes
Whatever.
picked
Yeah.
up,
Speaking of all that stuff,
things
yeah.
being broken in left, right, and center.
Yeah.
That screen, I can't believe it. But with all things, kind of breaking and crumbling, there's a rise and there's a comeback, and that
That's
comeback
right.
is an
Brand
Xbox
new
X
Xbox.
Series and a brand new TV. Hello,
Yeah. Get it.
that's how we
That's
do.
right.
So that's where we'll end it, guys. And yeah,
Absolutely.
well, another good one, man. I'm loving
I
it.
know. Hey, yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for listening to us, audience members out there. And please drop us a like, give us a follow, hit that sub button, toast that sub, let
Yeah,
us know how
hit
you
that bell
feel.
button, all that
Hit
jazz.
that bell button, baby. Hit the subscribe.
It's November
And
over. I can
yeah.
get rid of this thing. I can't wait.
Oh, is that what
November.
you're doing it for?
I
Yeah.
tried to do this part too. I couldn't do it. I had to shave this part. It was just
Yeah.
so itchy. I was like, I give up. I lost the
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah.
I did the top part.
I can't grow anything, so it's like I should feel guilty, but I don't. I just can't do it.
You
Yeah.
can't?
No, straight up, I don't have a mustache. I got little white furs.
No,
It's not the
but then
same.
again, too, you're still like you're what, 25?
No, 27.
27. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm so bad.
Bro, I got no excuse. I just can't grow a beard. Yeah, I'm an adult. I just can't do it.
Certain times it just
Eventually,
kicks in. It
eventually I
kicks
will.
in at like a certain time. Yeah, because like there was a
By the
time
time
where
I'm
like I didn't
40,
have
it'll.
any at all. It just like just
Yeah.
came in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Really,
What are
it
you gonna
really
do?
did. Okay, but yeah, guys. If you want
Thank.
to like shave my beard, hit me up.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah. So I'm gonna hang out in this barn for a little while longer before hitting the road. I'm gonna try to get to your studio. I'll get there eventually, but
You do.
yeah, yeah. Until then, I'll keep you informed on whether or not I get arrested. Right? You'll know if I do. If they finally catch me, if the Russians get me.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Again, we appreciate it. Watching, listening, all that jazz. You know how it is. Again, we really, really appreciate it. Take it easy. Be safe. And, do you.
Perfect way to end it. Bye bye.